when I first started telling people that I wanted to do a project about testicular cancer, I would find myself like worrying about how loud I was saying it, or I was like finding myself like whispering like, it's about testicular cancer. And that's exactly the reason that I wanted to do this project. I wanted to stop people being ashamed of it, because I wanted to create a project that allowed people to talk about the topic. I created a project that almost became the discussion, that opened a dialogue between not only men and women, but also men and other men, and so that people feel more comfortable about talking about it, and that it will raise awareness about the preventative practice and the importance of checking. So for this, I wanted to shoot each image in an advertising or fashion style. So typically we see advertising and aspire to be like those people in the advert. We aspire to be the kind of person that is beautifully lit and beautifully presented in this amazing environment. And I wanted to recreate that in each of my images. That's why I shot using flash and tried to light the scene as perfectly as possible. So for each image I wanted to create an environment where there was some sort of urgency within the image, that one of these guys was in the middle of doing something that they'd be doing day to day, or something that needed to be done right now, and that they were actually checking themselves in the middle of this process, so that it wasn't like someone sat on the sofa doing it in front of the telly. It was like it needed to be done right now, whether you were in a bar or whether you were just about to fight a fire, it didn't matter. And so for doing that I wanted to emphasise that it's such an important issue. When I was doing a lot of the research for the project, I found that one of the words that kept on coming up was like emasculation or embarrassment, and I wanted to kind of face those issues and really get rid of them and face them full on, and create images that are gonna cause a bit of controversy, but also question why should we feel embarrassed about this? Like, it's a completely natural thing, and it's something that people should be bringing into their everyday lives. I really wanted this beautiful advertising style for each of the images. I really needed to make each image as high quality as possible. So this style image would contrast with the guy who stood in the middle of it checking himself, and I wanted that to be like a key element within it, so that something didn't look quite right in it. It gave something for people to kind of question it and think, what's that guy doing? And so to get this look, I shot with phase 1. I also use ProPhoto as my lighting setup. I started looking at the different trends in advertising that are going on at the moment. So I looked at things that are like stereotypically deemed as being cool or manly. Other things that kept on coming up were things like whiskey adverts, people, guys in bars, or guys on motorbikes, or perfume ads with people in mountains somewhere. This research was really important because it gave me a ground level that I could work at. It gave me something that I could aim for and then work up, so that when people saw the images they thought, oh, that's just a guy who's advertising some sort of whiskey campaign, like that, oh, that's just a guy who's in some sort of perfume ad, and then they'd realise, oh wait, no, he's actually got his hands down his trousers, what's that? And I wanted that to kind of juxtapose against each other, but also to attract people's attention that way. The working title kind of came around from the fact that this original idea that I wanted to get across, this raw concept that I wanted to get across to the viewer, which was that cancer doesn't wait for the right time, so neither should you.